Have you ever wondered about curing your models and how to make your resin 3D prints, good, solid? Well, today we are going to talk about just that on methods to cure your prints. Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are talking about curing. Yes, curing. So this is for all you resin 3D printer guys out there, and ladies, of course, that, curing can be done multiple ways when you're doing 3D printing. And today I want to talk about some of the tools that you can use for curing your models. So we're going to talk about 5 tools, yes, 5, that are options out there that you can use to cure your 3D prints. Now, do you have to use these options? No, these are purely up to you. These are just suggestions. So keep that in mind as you go through the video that, maybe you're just a small town 3D printer just printing little minis. Or if you're like me, who's printing big figurines, I may have something for you towards later into the video, so keep that in mind. So we're gonna go through options as you grow through 3D printing. You may have to grow with bigger devices and stuff like that to keep that in mind. So always kind of cool, fun things to work with. But before we jump over to those machines and those options, if you're new to the channel and you're interested in 3D printing and stuff like that, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Join us as we have a new video coming out every Friday, and we do some live streaming as well. So with 3D prints and finishing and all that fun jazz. Also, if you have a question about 3D printing, make sure you hit a comment down in the comments below. And if you're currently a subscriber and coming to say hi, make sure you leave that nice comment down in the bottom. So, because those are always appreciated. And also, if you enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button. So let's hop over and let's start talking about this equipment. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to talk about, we're going to start small and cheap. So the first option is a UV flashlight. So this one is from Wood Lamps. It works on the 405 nanometer scale of UV light that we need to cure resin. So this has a rechargeable battery, works really well. I use this one when I'm doing finishing, or I've got like areas where the standard station can't get the light up in there, or if I'm working with an FDM print that I've put a layer of resin over and I'm curing to really ensure the smoothness with the layer lines. So this guy comes in really handy, definitely a tool I recommend. So that's the first one. This guy runs about $20. But the next one that I'm going to hop up to is a powered UV lamp. So this guy works really well. This is an AC90 and it works on that 405 nm light spectrum. Really bright. Sometimes what I do is I will actually just put this on top of a box and cut a hole in it and let it shine down on the model. It works really well. This one runs anywhere between $30 and $40. But it's nice, it's palm, I can move it around the models. Like I said, if I'm doing a pour over an FDM print, I can cure it really quickly. And it just comes in handy, especially with the curing stations. The curing stations are great, but sometimes my models are just too big. This is where this big lamp comes in handy that I can set around the model, or use a turntable that will keep the model turning with the lamp on it. So, especially when you get into the big resin printers, these can come in pretty handy, but they are a really cool tool to work with. So definitely recommend anybody that's doing resin printing. This little guy is definitely worth his money and can just be helpful. It's got a nice off-on switch, movable, very easy to use. So this is one of the top ones that I use. So the third one that I'm going to talk about today is this guy. So this is from Frozen. This is their curing probes. So very tight spaces that you got to get light back into. These little probes are awesome, especially on figurines and stuff like that. Or sometimes what I'll do is I'll drill a hole in the bottom and I'll put the probe in to help cure the hollow inside to prevent cracking and stuff like that. So definitely worth getting. This one is a little bit more expensive. This one is about in the $60, $70 range, but it is a very handy tool because it's small and you can get into those cracks, which work really well. The third one, or the fourth one I'm going to talk about, we're getting big. So let's talk wash and cure stations. So you can buy just a straight curing station. But if you're going to make the investment, I recommend going for the wash and cure station. That way you get a nice tub to keep your denatured alcohol or isopropyl alcohol, if you so choose, in a nice handy cleaning bin. So that way it's sealed, it's not evaporating for one, you don't have the chemical smell. These tubs are great. Now this is the Anycubic Wash and Cure Plus. This is the biggest one that you can really get that's out there. But for a cure station, it's really nice. It has the flexible mount, so it comes down. The turntable pops right on when you take your alcohol tank off. A lot of it works via magnetics, and you can enclose it and just let it run. Now, if you're curious about this one, go check out my video that I did just purely on this machine. So it is very useful. It's great because everything can be stored and contained in the one machine. Your washing, all that stuff can be done in one device. Now, granted, you're setting something off to the side and moving and shifting, so you're still going to use the space compared to like a Mercury, the Illigu Mercury Wash and Cure Station, which are two separate machines that sit side by side. This is just convenient because when I'm not using it, the alcohol tank can be sitting in the base and everything's contained in here. So, and you have another lid to help contain fumes and all that fun stuff. But a wash and cure station is really helpful because you're getting all that all in one pack. So, and you're keeping everything within a defined space. The limitation of this is, again, size. Can it spin on the table to get under the light? I run into a problem where this is not big enough. And this is one of the biggest ones you can get without going up into the major hundreds or thousands of dollars. So this one runs about 250 MSP. You can find them on sale and stuff. The Illigu Mercury that I mentioned is about the $200 price range as well. So it's kind of one of those things that's a little difficult to, the price eats into it versus like the $30 and $40 options. So kind of keep that in mind. Now, I did say I was going to talk about 5. Well, that's only 4. Well, option number 5, set it out in the sun. It's UV cured resin, meaning ultraviolet rays. And you got a freebie version out there. You just got to make sure you don't want dust and dirt getting onto it while it's sitting outside. And it's going to take a lot longer because basically when it's in a machine like this, it's baking. So when you put it outside, you're not getting the concentrated dose that these give to the model. But it is an option, especially if you're just beginning and doing itty bitty small stuff. Just put them on the windowsill. It's a way to do it. So you don't have to make a huge financial investment if you're starting small. Now, if you go big, it's worth the investment. So kind of keep that in mind as we talk about as this kind of stuff comes up more in the future. You can easily scale. Now, like all 4 of these have a purpose in my shop. I've got all kinds of weird, intricate models and stuff like that I use all of these, but you may not need that. So kind of keep that in mind. You may only need the $20 solution right now versus the $250 solution. So, and it's one of those things, start small, especially if you're just getting started in the hobby, so you can make sure you're doing something that you enjoy. So kind of keep that in mind as we go through. Also, again, as we get ready to close out this video, I appreciate you guys stopping by, checking out the video. Go check out the other videos on the channel. We've got tons of them in different realms of 3D printing. And if you have any questions, leave a comment down below and make sure you hit that subscribe button to make sure you get notified of all the other videos that come on out. And thank you guys. We'll see you in the next video.